At CNBC's CEO Council Summit in Washington, D.C. yesterday, I spoke to FTC Chair Lina and Assistant Attorney General for Antitrust Jonathan Kanter in a rare interview together. They're, of course, leading policy makers overseeing antitrust policy in this country. And I asked them if any of their rulings to date have hurt the consumer.
I'm not aware of any case that either of our agencies have brought where the consumer was worse off as a result of our actions.
And we got into that conversation in part because the consumer standard, the harm to consumer, they said was no longer the only standard that they looked at. So we were trying to understand the differences. I also asked the FTC chair, Lina how she defines a monopoly.
There are a whole bunch of ways in antitrust analysis that you can assess if a company is a monopoly. You look at the market share, define the relevant market. To my mind, one of the most probative ways is to look at whether a company is able to make things worse for its customers or its workers and get away with it. Because if you have a functioning, free, competitive market, the idea is that if a company is being abusive towards its customers, those customers can go elsewhere. But if you see a persistent pattern of a company raising prices, degrading service, making it impossible to actually get somebody on the phone, all these big and small ways that the consumer experience is worse, and you don't see defections. Similarly, you can see the same thing on the worker side. That can be direct evidence of monopoly power that companies are at a stage where they can make things worse without losing out in the market.
Last week, ExxonMobil completed its acquisition of Pioneer Natural Resources for $60 billion. But an FTC order is preventing Pioneer's CEO, Scott Sheffield, from joining Exxon's board as part of that deal. And I asked FTC Chair Khan about getting involved in that transaction.
So we were pleased that we were able to bring that action. You know, that investigation surfaced what we viewed as pretty troubling evidence of attempted coordination. We know the Permian Basin has been a really important source of production for the United States, has the opportunity to serve as a competitive check on OPEC and others. And so, you know, allegations and suggestions that there was, in fact, attempted coordination is really troubling. We're scrutinizing a whole bunch of these deals. This has been publicly reported, and so I'll reserve judgment until our investigations are completed. But we recognize the economic significance of what's happening here.
Another big case that the DOJ's suit has been brought now against Live Nation, parent of Ticketmaster.
The fact of the matter is, competition for the intermediary services that bring a concert to a fan, that's what we care about. And so if someone's paying a convenience fee that they view as excessive, or they're not getting the customer service they want, or an artist or a venue doesn't have the choice if they're unhappy with the level of service that's being provided to the fans, those intermediaries are supposed to compete hard to deliver better products and services and to make people happy. And if there's harm to competition as a result of anti-competitive behavior, and that's exactly in the strike zone of what we should be focused on.
Jonathan Kanter, by the way, says that he is a Swiftie for those folks who are following Taylor Swift. And in part, a lot of people looked at this case as a referendum on perhaps the price tag that many people have been paying for Taylor Swift tickets, Becky.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about it, how people are actually going overseas because it's cheaper to pay for the airfare and the hotel and the ticket there. Gotta wonder if these prices will come down or if this is just the American public that does this.
It's still hard to know, to be honest with you. And I tried to pin them down on that issue. And nobody wants to say specifically, look, prices are 10% higher than they should be, 20% higher than they should be. And in fact, there was more competition. This is what would happen. In part, I think it's a difficult mathematical calculation to make because there's the question about who's controlling the venues, who's controlling sponsorship at those venues on those tours, who's working with the artists. There's a couple of pieces, and the truth is the Live Nation is involved in so many of them. If there were different players in all of those elements, would prices come down? By the way, there are some, Live Nation might argue, that prices would go up.